Hello, my name is Paul Filipowicz, and I'm the owner of Poltex Incorporated here in Redmond, Oregon. We're a manufacturer of organizers for hospitals and laboratories or the healthcare environment. Basically anything and everything to organize and enhance your setting in the laboratory or hospital. I got started, I was a molecular biologist by training, worked in a hospital laboratory at Kaiser Permanente Hospital as a lab bench tech, molecular technologist to be exact. And while I was working on the bench, I started to devise items to organize my own workspace because I had difficulty with all my items sprawled across the lab bench. And so I thought, in order to get started working, I had to have everything kind of neat and tidy and in order. And so I started making my own organizers. My bench mates kind of looked at my stuff and said, hey, I want one of those. And so I started a business and started selling to Kaiser Permanente Hospital, and it was pretty popular. So I decided I think I might have a thing here, and so I went and got a business license and then started building products out of my garage. And being that it was a hospital laboratory, some of the hospital staff would walk through the laboratory from time to time and say, ooh, that's cool, who built that? And I'd say, hey, this guy right here. And so they say, oh, can you do this and this? And it's kind of a theme with Poltex is that when people see that what can be built, they say their creative juices start flowing and they start suggesting other things to be built to organize and enhance again. And from there, it's just grown sort of organically year by year. And it's like the traditional method of you start small, start with primitive methods, and then you get more advanced as time goes on. So we started to gain popularity through word of mouth, and I did that for about 11 years just on the side. And in 2012, I decided it was time that we'd grown popular enough, it was time to ditch my job and go full-time into the business. And we moved to Tumalo initially and started out of a barn. My in-laws graciously took us in and gave us half a house and a barn to get started, and took about a year and a half, 2 years, and we moved into this spot here. This is Unit H. The room that we're in is the original Poltex, just this space right here. So my desk used to be right there. We had our first CNC router, which is right by my desk, and all the fabrication and shipping moved into that area of the building there. So now we have 5 of these units. What we have in this room now is this is the machining room. So these are 2.5 axis CNC routers by Multicam. So what these machines do is that it's an inverted router. So the router spins and it takes on different bits. So if you see, there's different cutting tools here, and we program it to change tools when needed and do the different cuts to be able to cut the profiles and the contours needed for the parts that we're cutting. So here we're cutting some decorative chart holders for a hospital in New York. They ordered 300 of them to organize and enhance their whole setting. All right, so this is about the 3rd step in the process. I'm going to take you through the beginning, from the beginning to how we get to the routers and what happens after the routers. So the first step in the process is the design process, which is done with CAD software. So if you come over here, we'll take one of our products that we're designing here. So the process goes like this. We take a 2D design. So you'll see here we have this part is designed in 2D. This will be the faceplate. Then we design all the parts in 2D and we assemble into 3D. Now this mimics the process that we're going to do on the benchtop in terms of assembly. So we'll be able to see how all of the parts interact and see how the moving parts interact with themselves and make sure there are no conflicts in design. From there, we will take the part and we will export it into our CAM software. The CAM software will then assign the proper tool paths to be able to cut the parts that we're cutting. So this is what we just saw on the routers there, and we can assign different tool paths with different tools, and we can assign our feeds and speeds and how fast or slow we want the tool to go, what RPM to spin, and Those are all things that can be calculated, or you just kind of learn along the way. So from there, we send it to the machines, load up the sheets of plastic, and we cut. From the cut parts, we'll bring those in, and so the cut parts for the project we just saw on the machines will look something like this, and we send it into prep. So these are the cut parts that we just saw off of the machine, and so what Mom's doing here is just taking off the extra paper so that when the fabricators get them, they're a little bit cleaner. And then we'll have other prep people come in and you peel the appropriate parts, and they're prepped now. So this is part prepped and ready for fabrication, which I'll show you on this side of things. The prep parts will come into this room, into the fabrication area, and the prep parts look something like this. So they're peeled, the edges are chamfered or deburred, and so there'll be no sharp edges exposed to the customer. And then from here, our expert fabricators, here's Jesse fabricating our glove box holders. So this is a 3 glove box holder that's going to fit up on the wall of your healthcare or laboratory setting, like so, and stack 1, 2, 3 boxes of gloves. It is clear, so you can see what size gloves you're using. So there's some of the finished products that we have. So this is on the laboratory side of things. So we take, if you can imagine the footprint that this would take spread out across a lab bench, if you had these items, if we stack them vertically and compact them, now we take up a much smaller footprint. So this is just a bin on top that holds various supplies, wipes. This is a laboratory film with a slide cutter, so you can put film and seal it's kind of a saran wrap for a laboratory, and then your gloves, of course, all the items that you'd need on your bench top. And so we make different organizers, usually based off of people's custom requests. So I used to work in the laboratory at Kaiser. I'm no longer in that industry, so to maintain a pulse on the market, we offer affordable custom fabrication to encourage our customers to use it, so that we can continue to develop our product line. And so this was actually a result of a custom job, and we're going to have it photographed, placed on our website, and then distributed across our sales channels through distribution, Amazon.com, and our website. So this is an example of our laboratory organizers. This is one of our sanitizing stations, which have been very popular lately due to COVID. So we make them in a single, double, triple, or quadruple position. They come wall mounted, so we have keyhole slots here, or stand mounted. So you could put your hand sanitizer and your wipes and display them. There's a padlock here, so if you needed to refill, you can refill the items. Yep. Place the padlock back on, and there we go. And away you go. And so these have been purchased. They used to be primarily purchased by healthcare environments, but now we're getting them from beauty supply stores and hair salons and party supply, and just anyone in any environment that has public entering it. So this has been a big COVID seller. Here's some more. So to continue with the process, so we have it goes from fabrication and then into finishing. So finishing means that we're going to add any of the accessories that we need to add to it. So we have, for example, you can do magnet mount or screw and anchor mount. And so the finisher will look at the packing slip and assign the proper hardware to the product and then send it on to shipping. So all of these products are here waiting to go out to have their hardware and to be finished, to then go on to shipping. So Reddy's has been very helpful for us. When we first moved into Unit H there, we had no idea who they were, and John Stark heard about us because he has his pulse on the business community in Redmond, and he came in and offered his services. He said, hey, whatever you need, we got your back, and he's able to establish relationships, make connections with similar businesses or anyone that could use our services or vice versa. He provided any kind of resources we need in terms of accounting or IT work or anything like that, job hiring. They're just kind of the one-stop shop for anything that a small business needs. So they've been really helpful, really available. They answer their phones. They're, the reason I'm talking to you all today, which is has provided a boost for our business in the past. Yeah, so I do owe a lot to Reddy for getting us started here in Redmond and providing some resources. So yeah, that's who we are. We're Poltex. Thank you so much, Reddy, for all your help, and thanks for taking the tour today.